Welcome back to Modern Mining. Today I'm showing you how I use my GPU mining rigs and efficiently spread the air throughout my entire house to avoid having to turn on my heat at all this winter. All right, so this is the main office. You can see it's almost 80 degrees in here. And I've got my biggest rig, 8-card rig in here, as well as my gaming PC that's mining both with the 7800X3D and the 3080. And so most people's issue is, how do you get this heat from this room out into the rest of the house? So how you do that, or at least the cheapest, simplest way I found to do it, is have a pretty decent sized fan that's blowing all this hot air directly outside the room. And how I have that working is this smart outlet right here. I'll put a link to that in the description. Basically, I've got this running 10 minutes every 2 hours, and that does a great job of keeping this room below 80 degrees and also keeping the rest of the house warm. I'll throw up some usage numbers on my thermostat. Basically turn it on for maybe 5 minutes a day, but most days it doesn't get turned on at all. Heading downstairs to the basement, this is where I've got my second rig, the Founders Edition rig that everyone seemed to love in my last video. Now this rig is down in this little bedroom in the basement. So how do I get this heat around the house? Same way. This fan's a little smaller, but you can see it's angled so that it's aiming straight through that doorway, pushing it out to the main room in the basement. And probably not gonna be able to see it, but I've got another smart outlet that I'm using down here. Same configuration, it just turns on once every 2 hours for about 10 minutes, and I can adjust that if it gets too hot. But the cool thing about those smart outlets is the app is awesome. You can set schedules, customize them however you want. If you want it to go 5 minutes for one time, 10 minutes for another, those smart outlets are a game changer. So let's move on to the next rig. Now we move into the garage, and I do not have a fan in this room, but my bedroom is basically directly above us. So any heat that comes off of this, the garage gets open and closed every once in a while, so this one doesn't provide a ton of heat, but still making the garage 60 degrees instead of 30 degrees during the winter. That's a big help for keeping the bedroom upstairs a little warmer. A couple other things I wanted to talk about. Why am I using fans to spread the heat around? I've seen people build farming grow tents, putting all their GPUs in there and then ducting that up into the ducts and just running the fan. Now, not that that's a bad idea, but my whole kind of motto, or I guess game plan with home crypto mining, is keeping your costs as low as possible, because any dollars that you're not spending on hash rate is basically taking away from your profits, or I would consider it almost a waste. So my whole theory is spend as little money as possible so that you can spend the most money on hash rate. So I don't want to spend the money for a grow tent. I don't want to spend the money for duct fans. When I can get these fans that turn on every 10 minutes for like 20 or 30 bucks in the smart outlet, you can get a pack of 3 for like $20. So I'm all in less than $100, and I have enough circulation to where my whole house is staying warm. The thermostat's on the totally other end of the house. Depending on the temperature outside, obviously if your house gets too hot, it's the winter time, you can crack a couple windows and boom, your house is cooled down in 5-10 minutes. Another thing is, if your house is not warm enough, you can switch your miners from, say, Pyron Hash to Kawpow, and then all of a sudden your same amount of graphics cards are pumping out double the heat. So personally, if my house is not at 70 degrees or 69, if it's getting to the 65s or 66s, I'm putting everything on Kawpow, which right now Kawpow is the most profitable anyway, but even if it wasn't, instead of having to turn on my heat, I would rather switch my algorithms to Kawpow, because it's gonna heat my house more than on Pyron Hash, and I'm not throwing money away turning the heater on. Those are the main points. Just wanted to do a quick video on how my setup is. I kind of take pride in just how cheap it is to put together, but how effectively it works. This will be the second winter now that I haven't really used my heater at all, and I've just warmed my house with mining rigs. It almost makes me wish that winter wouldn't end. But I'll see you guys next time. Please hit that like button. It helps out a huge amount with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're not already. Got a lot more videos coming. Modern Mining out.